I want to speak now about China, because a group of Labour MPs have urged the government to reject China's controversial plan to build a mega embassy in London. The deadline's coming up very soon. A letter has been written to Steve Reid, he's the Housing Secretary. 9 MPs raising security concerns about the proposed site, saying it would be used to step up intimidation against dissidents. It's on the Royal Mint Court site. It's a huge site which Beijing wants to develop. And there are problems and worries that there would be a secret chamber within this, could be used for torture. Its use has not been declared. That report was out from the Mail on Sunday in April time, and has been, others have written about it more recently. But certainly the case is that it would just be about its basement would just be about a metre away from some very, very important cables, the cables from the City of London that bring back and forward lots of important financial information. Of course, the City of London is an incredibly important part of our economy. So Alicia Kearns, who is the Shadow Foreign Minister, she was talking about this a little bit earlier on the House of Commons. She set out her concerns on this particular matter.
208 secret rooms and a hidden chamber just 1 metre from cables serving the City of London and the British people. That is what the unredacted plans tell us that the Chinese Communist Party has planned for its new embassy if the government gives them the go-ahead. Indeed, we now know they plan to demolish the wall between the cables and their embassy. Cables on which our economy is dependent. Cables carrying millions of British people's emails and financial data. An access that would give the Chinese Communist Party a launchpad for economic warfare against our nation.
Alicia Kearns, the Shadow Foreign Minister, talking there in Parliament earlier today. Chung Ching Kwong is with me now, Senior Analyst at the Inter-Parliamentary Alliance on China. Thank you very much indeed for joining me today. Tell me about this. Tell me about why this should be rejected in your opinion.
The embassy application should be rejected simply because it threatens our national security. As you heard from Alicia Kearns MP just now, it's just a metre away from very sensitive cable. So the whole discovery is that there have been redacted rooms in the planning application that the Chinese government put in. And recently there are reports that unveil that those unredacted rooms, one of them is actually very near those sensitive cabling, is 1 metre away. So if they actually
within the planning, sorry to interrupt you, but within the planning application, you're meant to say what every room is, what it's used for, what its purpose is, but there are concerns, I'm sure, about torture, and there are concerns too about them being very close to these cables which you're expressing.
Yes, yes, that's true. And at the same time, it will also allow around a few hundreds more Chinese officials to come to the UK. And through research and study of how Chinese espionage and interference activities happen, we will see that the more officials, the more people are on the ground, the more intimidation, espionage, transnational repression is going to happen. So all of these things adding together, the embassy should not be approved. And the UK's national security should not be compromised for exchange for Keir Starmer's trip at the end of the month to go to China. I don't think that makes any sense.
Where should the embassy be? How big should it be? The Chinese say they need a new embassy. Surely they should have diplomatic representation within the UK.
Yes, they should definitely have a functional embassy, probably not the one that they have in Portland Place right now. But I don't think the Royal Mint Court is actually the right place for the future Chinese embassy, not only because of the sensitive cabling, but also because there is no place for protesters to exercise their freedom of protest outside of the Chinese embassy. It's not a safe space for people to be at. And whether or not there should be another location for the Chinese embassy, I think that there should definitely be other choices, but the Royal Mint Court is definitely not the right place for a new Chinese embassy.
And certainly within that, what do you think happens now? Because we're within days of this deadline. We've had many people, including some MPs who've been banned from China, talking about this on a number of different occasions. Is the government listening?
I don't think the government is listening, and it wouldn't surprise me if the application is approved by the Labour government. And what's going to happen next is the residents is probably going to file a legal challenge against the embassy, most likely a judicial review, after some lawyers have looked into the decision of the approval. And that will be very embarrassing for the government, because ministers and documents might have to be seen in court, and they have to answer questions that will be uncomfortable for them. For example, whether or not they have given unlawful predetermination in assuring the Chinese government that they're going to get the embassy. Those things going to be very, very embarrassing for the current government.
Thank you for your contribution. That's Chung Ching Kwong there, Senior Analyst at the Inter-Parliamentary Alliance on China. Appreciate her contribution.